Hi, welcome to Dr. 2 Academy. This is Java tutorial for beginners, lesson number 13. The topic of this lesson is Java encapsulation. There are four most important concepts regarding object-oriented programming: inheritance, polymorphism, encapsulation, and abstraction. We learned inheritance in our lesson 11 and polymorphism in lesson 12. Now we are going to learn encapsulation. So what is encapsulation? Encapsulation means we encapsulate data and code to process the data. So it's wrapping up data and its processing code. We put the processing code in the method and we access those data only through the methods. So how to encapsulate the data? We declare private or protected data. We put the private or protected keyword in front of our data declaration in class. We declare the method as public, so we can access data only through methods. Now let's start Eclipse. Double-click eclipse.exe. This is project of our last lesson, lesson 12. Let's create a new project. New project. Click on Next. Project name, lesson 13. Click on Next. Click on Finish. Module name, the reverse order of the domain name, com.Dr2Academy .java tutorial .lesson 13. Click on Create. Right-click on lesson 13. New class. Package name is the same as the module name, com.Dr2Academy .java tutorial lesson 13. Class name, code tester. Click on Finish. Now let's create the main method. Public static void main stream array brackets args places. Now let's create another class. Right click on lesson 13. New class. Create a new class called user. Click on Finish. Let's define the member variable username, private, stream, username, define the constructor, public user username is blank string. Define another constructor, public user string name username is name. So we assign the parameter name to the member variable username. Create another method, public string get username return username. So here in the class user, we define private member variable username. Also, we define a public method get username to return the username. Of course, we can also define another public method set username string name braces. Username is name. So in this method, we assign the value of the parameter name to the member variable username. Now let's go back to the main method. We declare a user object. Now let's create a user object and assign it to user variable. User equals new user Jeff. Now let's declare a variable my name. Assign the username to my name. User dot get username. Double click line 7 to put a breakpoint here. Click on debug button. Step into. This is the constructor of user. Parameter name is Jeff. Assign Jeff to username. Now username is Jeff. Step into it. Return username. We can see the username is Jeff. Notice the username is a private member here. So now my name is Jeff, right? As we just saw, we use getUsername, the public method, to return the value of the private member variable username. What if we try to access the private username directly? Now let's see if we can access the private member variable username directly. My name is user.username. See, we have the red line here. Means this is error, right? But since username is a private member variable, so it does not show here. But if we press enter or semicolon, the editor will convert that username to getUsername automatically. Let's try it out. See? So we cannot access the private member variable. We use the private access modifier to hide member variables from outside. So we have to access the private members through the public methods. Of course, we can also simply change this to public. Then we can access the member variable username directly, right? But this is not the correct way to do it. In our OO programming, we always hide the member variables inside the class by using the private or protected access modifier. Now we can access username directly since it is public right now. But this is not the right way to do it. In OO programming, we always use private or protected access modifier to encapsulate the member variables inside the object and use only public method to access those private members. So this is what we call encapsulation in Java. Its member variables are defined as private, and methods to access those member variables are defined as public. And in our code, we always use the public methods to access and manipulate those private members. This is what we call Java encapsulation. So this line is not correct. We should always use the getUsername, the public method, to access the private member variables. This is what we call Java encapsulation. Now let's summarize what we just learned about Java encapsulation. Java encapsulation is wrapping up data and the code into one unit. That unit is a class or object. The data is class member variables, and the code is the class methods. We access data member variables through class methods. And the data encapsulation is a very important feature of OO programming. We declare data as private or protected, and declare the method as public, so we can access data only through methods. In our next lesson, we are going to learn abstract classes. We will learn what is abstract class and how to use abstract class. That's all for this lesson of Java encapsulation. I will see you next time. Bye.